at 100 local time on the banks of the Volga River. A refinery that has fueled Russia's wars since 1942 lights up the night sky again, for the third time in less than a year.
Ukrainian drones allegedly hit the Syzran Oil Refinery in Russia's Samara region on Saturday night.
Most people will hear about this strike and assume it's just another refinery fire. It isn't. This is a facility Russia already admitted it might take over a month to repair, and Ukraine may have just hit it again before that repair was even finished. The story behind this one target reveals something most coverage of this war completely misses. Overnight, on July 12, 2026, Ukrainian drones reportedly struck the Syzran Oil Refinery in Russia's Samara Oblast, more than 800 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. Russian telegram channels posted footage showing thick black smoke and large flames rising over the city. As of this reporting, Ukraine's military hadn't yet issued an official statement confirming the operation, and the full extent of the damage was still being verified. A reminder that this is a fast-moving, developing story, unfolding in near real time as residents and independent channels post the first raw footage before any government confirms a thing. What makes the target itself significant is clear regardless. The refinery processes around 9 million tons of crude oil annually and, critically, supplies fuel directly to the Russian Air Force and military units across central and southern Russia, while also exporting petroleum products via the Volga River and the Caspian Sea. This wasn't a random target. It's a refinery wired directly into Russia's military fuel supply. And the strike came just 3 days after Ukraine hit the Ilsky refinery in Krasnodar Krai, part of a visibly accelerating pace of attacks on Russian fuel infrastructure through early July. Here's what almost nobody mentions when covering this strike. Syzran itself predates the refinery by nearly 260 years. It was founded in 1683 as a fortress, built to protect Russian trade routes as the kingdom expanded eastward. And one tower from that original 17th century fortress still stands today. The city also once held an unusual claim to fame. The Syzran Railway Bridge across the Volga was, for a time, the longest bridge in all of Europe. This is a place with a genuinely deep history, most of it having nothing to do with oil at all. And here's the detail that ties this strike to something much bigger than a single night. Construction on the Syzran refinery actually began before World War II, with its first petroleum products rolling out in 1942, in the middle of the Soviet Union's fight against Nazi Germany. During that same war, Syzran's industrial output surged 4 to 5 times over, as factories evacuated from the Western Front were relocated there for safety. In Soviet times, the discovery of major oil deposits nearby even earned the city an informal nickname, the Second Baku, a nod to Azerbaijan's historic oil capital. In other words, this refinery has spent its entire existence, over 80 years, fueling Russian wars, from Stalingrad to Ukraine. Now here's the part that turns this from routine news into a genuinely striking story. This wasn't Syzran's first hit of the year. Ukraine struck this exact refinery on May 21st, 2026, damaging its CDU-6 crude distillation unit, a single component responsible for more than 70% of the plant's total processing capacity. 2 people were killed in that strike, and Russian oil industry sources told Reuters that repairs could take more than a month. If July 12th's reported strike is confirmed, it means Ukraine may have hit this refinery again before Russia even finished repairing the damage from May, turning a single facility into a recurring, unhealed wound in Russia's fuel network. And this refinery wasn't just a target Ukraine picked on its own. By April 2026, the European Union, France, and Monaco had all placed the Syzran refinery's parent entity under formal sanctions, explicitly citing its role in providing revenue to the Russian government responsible for the annexation of Crimea and the ongoing war against Ukraine. That's a detail rarely connected to the drone footage. Western governments had already built the legal case against this exact refinery months before Ukraine's drones did the rest. So, why does a refinery few people outside Russia have ever heard of matter? Because Syzran isn't a symbol like the Kerch Bridge or a Cold War flashpoint like Votkinsk. It's something quieter and more telling. A facility that has fueled Russian military campaigns since World War II, sanctioned by the West. Hit once already this year, and now potentially hit again before it could even finish healing. If you liked this video, then give a like and subscribe to our channel for the next one.